Now that the dust has settled a bit on Jackass Forever, I think it's time that we look back on some of the weirdest side projects and cameos that the Jackass crew have been a part of over the years. I'm talking movies, reality shows, and video games. But do keep in mind that I've already covered pretty much every side project or cameo appearance that Ryan Dunn was a part of in previous videos, with exception to one very obscure British reality show, and the first topic of discussion in today's video, Commando VIP.
Take one boxer and another. Take a singer and an actor. Take a jackass and a jungle cat. Take them to the middle of nowhere. Take command. Take liberties. Take no prisoners. Take action. Take explosive action. Take pot shots. Take cheap shots. At 6, celebrity big shots. Commando VIP. Premieres 8 o'clock tonight on 5.
Airing on Channel 5 in the UK back in 2005, Commando VIP was a series that put 6 celebrities through tough military-style challenges after being trained by 3 real British commandos. And based on how terribly he did in the tough guy competition during the one and only episode of Bam's World Domination, I would have loved to see Ryan being trained and put to the test by real British commandos. But unfortunately, I can't track down an entire episode of the show. There are just some promotional pictures online and a short preview reel for the series. Other than that, not one of the 6 Commando VIP episodes are available online. This show wasn't even released on DVD. But this next side project has the opposite problem. Reach your hand into the depths of your local Walmart's discount DVD bin, and you might just find this stinker of a film. 2006's TV the Movie.
Trade me your board for this gun, dude. Thank you.
TV the Movie was directed by Sam Macaroni. And the most interesting bit of trivia about Sam, other than the fact that he's directed like 80 short films, is that his father tried to name him Elbow Macaroni. But TV the Movie features 4 Jackass crew members in starring roles: Steve-O, Chris Pontius, Wee Man, and Preston Lacey. Not to mention Jason Mewes, Judd Nelson, and Danny Trejo. So that means that there are actually 2 Los Angeles area taco shop owners in this movie. And you know, even though I just referred to TV the Movie as a stinker, it's really not that bad. I mean, it's not exactly good either, but this movie has sort of developed a cult following over the years, mostly among individuals who like to partake in the usage of the, devil's lettuce, if you know what I mean.
Dude.
But TV the Movie isn't really a movie. Rather, it's a collection of skits that parody commercials and TV shows that were popular at the time of its release. And even though this movie is listed as having been released in 2006, it was never shown in any theaters and was actually released directly to DVD in the early part of 2007. So, over 2 years after the launch of YouTube, and like 3 months prior to the launch of Funny or Die. What I'm saying is, internet skits were not only free to watch, but also better than the content of this movie. Therefore, TV the Movie was quickly condemned to the aforementioned Walmart DVD bins. Not to mention, this movie bombed so hard that all of the Jackass cast members associated with it had to get jobs at Arby's just to pay the bills.
I'm Preston Lacey.
We're the stars of Jackass and National Lampoon's TV the Movie. We race to the nearest Arby's to prove our professionalism. Welcome to Arby's, where the world is a better place. What do you want? A roast beef large combo? What are you, some kind of wussy?
Come on, man, I don't got time for this.
Moving on, this is probably the most popular side project that any Jackass crew member took part in, Dancing with the Stars. Just take a second to think about every member of the Jackass crew. Who do you think would fit best on a show of this nature? If we were talking about people who aren't really considered main crew members, you'd probably think Don Vito, of course, but actually it was Steve-O. And surprisingly, Steve and his dance partner, Lacey Schwimmer, stayed on the show for 6 of the 13 weeks. But I can see how Steve would be a pretty good dancer, as he previously graduated from the Ringling Brothers Clown College, which kind of goes hand in hand with the coordination aspect of dancing. Alright, before we talk about this next project, we need to briefly discuss the early 2000s and the action sports takeover that was happening in basically every form of media. Skateboarding, freestyle BMX, motocross, snowboarding, surfing. These sports dominated the cultural zeitgeist between the late 90s and mid 2000s. So when director Mick G began developing the sequel to the 2000 movie Charlie's Angels, he clearly wanted to cash in on this action sports craze. Before we even get to the half-hour mark of this movie's runtime, there's a surfing scene, followed by a full-blown motocross race. F***ing Lewis Stevens is riding a dirt bike, and finally we're introduced to the Jackass cast member in question, Chris Pontius. And of course, Chris is definitely best known as Party Boy from Jackass, but his inclusion in this movie actually continues the action sports theme because prior to Jackass, he was a skater and eventually wrote for Big Brother magazine. Chris portrays an Irish gang member goon in this film, and this cameo appearance is just so bizarre. His character receives a lap dance from Drew Barrymore and Lucy Liu. After that, he shows up briefly in a warehouse fight scene and is never shown again. The Angels escape from that warehouse by flying out of the roof, catching planks of wood, and basically like board sliding down a rope. This is the dumbest shit I've ever seen. And Chris making a brief appearance in this movie is definitely weird, but if you think about it, he's the first skater to appear in a Charlie's Angels property since Stacy Peralta co-starred in an episode of the original TV series back in 1979. Even though he made just a brief background appearance in Jackass Forever due to some legal issues, Bam Margera is such an important part of this franchise. So next up, let's talk about his appearance in The Fantastic Whores 4.
One of the things I like doing most is banging whores.
Actually, you know what? I don't want another age restriction on one of my videos. You guys can just go ahead and research that one on your own time. So we're actually going to talk about his voice acting role in the video game Scarface: The World Is Yours. The gaming landscape was forever changed after the release of Grand Theft Auto 3 in 2001. But in the years that followed, there were just so many clones of this game. Some of them were absolutely lambasted by game critics, but there were actually quite a few that, while clearly pulling a lot of influence from Grand Theft Auto, actually managed to innovate and provide really fun gameplay experiences. Two of which were developed by Radical Entertainment, the developer behind The Simpsons Hit and Run, and Scarface: The World Is Yours. Unlike Grand Theft Auto, Scarface allowed you to take control of various businesses throughout the game world. One of those businesses being O'Grady's Liquor Store, run by a character named Jay, voiced by Jackass star Bam Margera.
This place from you. I got the cash right here. Just show me where to sign my name.
I'd love to, man, but I'm between a rock and a hard place full of assholes who want to destroy the business. A bunch of goons been trying to muscle in on my profits, and I've been tipped off that they're coming to shoot the place up any second.
Ironically, Jason Mewes, best known for portraying a character named Jay in basically every movie directed by Kevin Smith, also lends his voice in this game, along with basically half of the talent in Hollywood during the time of this game's release. Like, where else are you gonna see Tommy Lee, Pitbull, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the same cast list? And that'll do it for today's video. And I only covered just a few of the weird side projects that the Jackass crew have been a part of. If this video gets a good response, I'll definitely revisit this topic in the future. If you liked it, please give the video a thumbs up. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.